Hey, man.
Whoa! I didn't realize. Are we live?
I think so. I moved my camera back up here today. And
Mm,
how's the quality look? Does it look better today?
the quality's fine. Um,
Don't you say anything about me. I didn't ask anything about me. I know that's where you're going. I know you too much. I
it's
know
too
you
far
too.
away. It's too far away.
Well, I'm not moving it now, so people are just gonna have to deal with
The
it.
quality is much better than it's been in the last couple of weeks. So whatever we did the other day fixed it.
Good, because it was about to drive me nuts. I could not figure out what was going on, but I finally figured it out, so we are good to go.
We're good to go.
Okay.
Are we dinking? Are we dinking? Dink. Dink.
Well, let's see. I've got 2 drinks today.
Oh,
Two.
oh, oh. I'll do a double dink.
Goodness gracious, how many do you have?
This is yesterday's pamplemousse that I just didn't take.
So I got this guy.
That's my new band name. Yesterday's pamplemousse. Boom.
Was it on Parks and Rec or
And I also have this.
he always says Andy Dwyer always says band name called it. So me and Perry do that. Like me and my wife, I'm talking to you like everybody else doesn't know. So me and my wife, we always when we hear a funny word or a funny phrase or whatever that we're like band name called it. So
we do the same thing, but we do. I just realized that I need to move my screen over because I'm looking too far to the right.
I was trying to thank you again on this one too. But...
Oh, one second.
Bap, bap.
We do the same thing, but we do nickname in college.
What? How does that work?
So I said yesterday's pamplemousse. I'm like, oh, that was my nickname in college or something like. I don't know. That's not funny in that context, but it can get quite funny. I'm not going to go into any further detail.
Can we hear some legendary examples, or you're just gonna give the people what they want?
No.
Wow.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm thinking it could be something like
okay. Oh, wait. This has nothing to do this is nicknames, but it has nothing to do with the show. But in college, people called you Grimace.
That was one of the names, yeah.
Why? I never understood that. And if Kyle's listening,
that was a leftover nickname actually from it was not even my nickname. That was just a random gamer tag I made. She's not watching, so it doesn't matter. But there was a teacher in college, in high school, and she always wore this big purple dress, and it was the year above us. The students called her Grimace. And one of the kids who said it, not like to her face, but they said, "Oh, Miss Grimace," and it was a friend group, and it just got connected. And I always thought that was funny. And I had like a purple Grimace. I had a purple Grimace doll. It was just like a thing. I don't know. It was funny, but yeah, no, Grimace is one of my nicknames in college. But no, going back to like eventually we'll get into the topic of today. But
this is good.
No, but like nickname in college. So like. One of the kids will walk into the room and like, oh, you have a saggy diaper. And you're like, oh, that's my nickname in college.
Oh,
and so we like walk across the campus.
Okay.
Oh, here comes saggy diaper. I don't know. That's just what we do. So you do band names. We do nicknames in college.
Yeah, we do band names.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I guess we should do the show.
Nope. Goodbye.
Just
outro
on that.
Hit that
Roll
outro.
that beautiful beat. No, don't do that, Chris.
Cast is brought to you.
And we're out.
And
Under 5 minutes.
Signing out. It's a world record for us.
Yeah.
We usually do long intros, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So don't hate.
Yeah. People love the long intro. That was my name at college.
New band name, called it.
That's how easy it works. It's like a mashup of That's What She Said and saying new name in college. There you go.
Oh, okay. Well,
anyway, so what are we going to talk about? This all came from like a text that you had the other day, right?
Yes. So before I do that, I'm just going to share this what we're watching, what we're doing right now on Facebook, because
Yep,
we need to do that. That's a thing.
Okay, so while you're doing that, I'll tell everybody who's listening, follow us at WINJECT Studios. Follow me at Jason Marlowe. Follow him at Zack Tatum. We have a new podcast coming out soon, next couple weeks, I would think, called Hustle Machine. You can check us out at Hustle Machine Podcast to learn more information there. If you want to know more about the WINJECT community, you can text 843-396-2104 or hit up winject.com and find out more information there about the packages that are there, about the partners that are on board,
That's right.
about all the special offers and things that you can get as you join the community. So lots of information there, winject.com, or text the community to get updates about when we go live and more information to ask questions, whatever. 843-396-2104.
Get that one.
Yeah.
Nazi.
Nazi's membership is live now as well. It's on.
That's right. Yeah. So go check it out, guys. Don't miss out. So yes, this conversation we're going to have today stems from a text message I got from a friend of mine. He's watched some of these lives and he texted me randomly and just said, "Hey man, I got a question for you. So what do you do?" Actually, let me just pull up the actual text message. And
while you pull that up, I want to say, not that it matters, but there's a guy coming to my house today to fix the heating and air, and he said he's going to come sometime this afternoon, as they always say. So because life, I might have to exit stage right for a second and then come back.
What's his nickname? Oh,
I think your buddy. Is that your buddy or
buddy?
The AC guy? The heating and air guy? I think his name's Gary.
Gary. Or is it Jerry? Jerry Gergich?
Gary Gergich.
Gary Gergich. So let me read this text that he sent me. And I love this question. It's actually two questions, but what do you do when you feel, okay. Pam, Tim. I'm moving on. What do you do when you feel overwhelmed by your to-do list, and and have people needing your attention? So it's essentially two questions, and I thought it was a great question because it's something that I dealt with working in one of my regular 9-to-5s early on. I had an office
back in the day.
Regular 9-to-5. I was working for this company, and I had my own office, and I had people that would come by often and ask me to get things done for them, on top of the things I was already working on, the task list that my boss was giving me, my direct boss, and then other departments would come by and say, "Oh, since you're doing, can you do this, this, and this? Is that something you can do? I was told you could do blah blah blah." And
while you're already juggling 3 balls and a computer and like a flaming torch, they're like, "Hey, let me throw this in there too."
Yeah, why don't you just you don't have anything else going on, or when people figured out like, "Oh, you're the designer. Oh, you're the marketer. Can you do this for me?" Inevitably that's what happened. But I thought it was a great question because it is something that I struggled with pretty early on. And I felt good because I was like, oh, I know exactly what you need to do. And we've talked about it briefly on the show, but the first thing I asked him was like, okay, well, let's just make sure I understand. Are you talking professionally or personally? Because that gives you two different responses, right? I would handle things differently personally than I would professionally. It's two different avenues. When he said professionally, I was like, okay, I think I can help you. I always start with either the beginning of the day or the day before. It doesn't matter which one you choose to do. I've done both, and sometimes I do it. I don't have like a set way I do it. It's just either in the morning or the night before or the day before when I end the day. I write my top. I'm looking over here because I have my whiteboard, and I'll get to that in a minute. I do my top 3, and then I do probably 5 extras that I can get done that day.
Okay.
So I told him, I said, why don't you write out what your top 3 things that you have to do that day? Like at the end of the day, when you clock out at the end, did you accomplish these 3 things? If you didn't accomplish these 3 things, then you wasted your time. if you spent all your time on the 5 extra things and didn't get the top 3 things done, you didn't do it right.
Mhm.
You've wasted your time. And I say the extra 5 things because sometimes the top 3 things are very important, but they don't take but maybe half a day. So
Yeah.
you don't just twiddle your thumbs for the rest of the day and go, well, I did my top 3 and checking out. Peace. Doesn't work that way. So I always say 5 extra things just to say, okay, I can get this thing, this done, I get this done, I get this done. So I told him that, and then I asked him, I said, what's your most productive time of the day?
Mhm.
Because I think that a lot of people waste their brain space and their most focused time on things that aren't as important or aren't the number one priority things that you should be focusing on.
Yeah.
I think that's a very common thing. Oftentimes we do what's fun on our to-do list. We look at it and
Oh,
say,
of course.
oh, that's way more fun. I'm doing that instead.
Yeah.
There's a book called Eat That Frog. Yeah, I've had frog before. Side note,
Mhm.
I have had frog legs before.
Yeah, me too.
They're disgusting.
You didn't have good frog legs.
Well, I had it on a cruise, and that's the only reason I did it because you've been on a cruise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have like the fancy like the dinner where you sit down. You have like buffets all over the ship.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then
yeah.
there's the dining room, I guess they call it. And you had a select time you go, and then you could literally order the entire menu and they'd bring
Mhm.
it to you. But they always had on the menu something you always wanted to try but never tried it, or
Yeah.
something. It had like a catchy phrase like that. And one of the evenings it was frog legs, and we were with Joy and Gabe. We
Mhm.
were with some friends of ours, and Gabe, if you knew him, he's all about challenges like that. And he says, "I bet you won't get that." I was like, "I'll order some frog legs, sir." And then I said, "Well, I'm actually going to have this as well. So if you'll bring this at the same time, because I'm probably not going to like the frog legs." So he brought out both of them. But anyways, so he brought them out. I ate them. I ate parts of them. They're kind of like a fishy chicken, but really tough.
Oh,
It had
mine
like
were good. When I had them in New Orleans.
that's
And
okay.
they were good. They literally tasted like chicken.
Yeah. See, these had like a gamey, fishy flavor to them. I did not
Nope.
like them.
Don't want that.
Nope, don't like that. Some Office references we can do as well. So anyway, so I asked. I feel like a lot of people waste their time on things that are not important. So let's go back to Eat That Frog. So the premise of Eat That Frog is if you have to eat a frog.
Yeah.
Like you wake up that morning and you're tasked with eating a frog. I don't know why that scenario would be a thing.
Don't do it
but
on a cruise ship.
You don't do it on a cruise ship ever. But if you had to eat the frog, are you going to eat it in the morning or eat it in the afternoon? Most people are going to say, I'm going to wait to the last possible second.
Yeah.
This book says, eat it first.
No.
Done, get it over with. It's the hardest thing you're going to do that day because no one wants to eat an entire frog unless you live in New Orleans.
Fair enough.
So don't eat. So eat the frogs scenario is if there's a big daunting task that you have, do it first thing. Get it out of the way. Knock it out. Move on. Get on to your other things. So I told him, I said, go and eat the frog. Whatever the biggest things are on your list, go eat those first. Mm-hmm. Do those first. When he said he gets his most productivity done in the morning.
Okay.
That's like me. I'm the same way. I am typically more productive in the morning. Now, when you run your own business, you have to be on all the time, which is hard. So, like I try to, we've been doing a lot more writing and things like that. So I've been trying to spend the time that I write mostly in the mornings when I have the most energy, the most brain power. Afternoons, we'll do meetings. I like to try to do meetings in the afternoons or some of my low priority tasks that don't take a lot of brain space or brain power. I do those in the afternoon. So I told him, I said, your top 3 things should be done during your most focused time, if you can do that. If your most focused time is in the morning, then do that. Then maybe you have a second wind that happens in the afternoon, because I feel like everybody's got that second wind that happens in the afternoon. If you got that, then hit those top 3 things again in the afternoon if you didn't get them through earlier in your most focused time. That was another thing I told him. I said you could try is just scheduling times for things.
Mm-hmm.
I set a timer, set a time limit to it. Say, I'm going to work on this number 1 top thing. I'm going to work on it for an hour. Then I'm going to pivot to number 2 for an hour. Then I'm going to pivot to poop it.
You said poop.
New band name, called it.
Poop, or just you said poop?
You said poop.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm going to pivot to the 3rd one.
Okay.
And if you didn't get them all done, okay, go back to them.
Yeah.
And keep going down the list till you knock them out. And I think this is relevant to not just somebody professionally, but I think you can do that. Look
Ding
at that.
dong. You keep going. I'll be back.
Was that a roar?
It was my spooky Halloween doorbell.
Okay. So while he's gone, we'll keep going. So I think this applies to not just professionally. I think it applies to if you are a side hustler, if you are in a podcast, running a podcast. It doesn't matter. I think that it applies across the board. I told him to also get a whiteboard, because you can have it written out. If it's in your office, you can have it written out in your notebook, and you should. But I think it would be beneficial to have a whiteboard, especially if you have an office, because this worked for me. I would write my to-do list on that board with due dates next to them, and then I had my top 3, and then I had my 5. And I had like I said, I had the due dates next to them. So when somebody walked in my office and they would say, "Hey, Zach, can shoot the breeze with me for a little while?" They would say, "Oh, so I need you to work on such and such, such and such." Okay. And then I would pivot to not looking at them. I would look at my board, and I'm looking at the board. And I would say, "Okay, well, here's what I've got going on. When do you need it?" And Jason always says, "When do you need it?" And you can't say yesterday, because inevitably that's what everybody says. They always say, "I need it like yesterday." Okay, well, that's funny. You're not getting it yesterday. So not everything can be top priority. It just can't. So I say, when do you need it? And let's say it's a Monday and they need it by Wednesday. Well, I've got a whole stack of things that need to be done by Wednesday. So I say, "I'm sorry, so-and-so has given me a clear instruction." Hey, he's back. That was quick. And we switched. I'm Jason, you're Zach. Man.
Yeah, no, I had to go let him in, and he's down the hall.
Did you let him hear the spooky doorbell?
He heard it. You can hear it outside.
Oh, okay. He probably didn't want to come in.
He was scared. Frightened.
Just flat out scared. So what I would say to them is I would ask them that question and then say, okay, I need it by Wednesday. Well, I've got these things going on. So I have to either move these things around, or can I have it to you by Friday? Most of the time people would say, yeah, that'll work. Most of the time. You do have occasional times to say, well, I really need it by this time because we have a deadline for this, and it would be helpful. I could have it by this time so I can get it. Okay, fine. Yeah. Well, let me tell you what, I need to go to these people and ask them if that's okay if I move some things around to get your task done. So then it puts it back on them, right? So now you're adding to them of like, okay, well, I've got to go to my boss now. So either I got to do it or you can do it, and ask, and you put it on them.
So I missed a little bit of that, but were you talking about how when somebody says they like need it right away, and then you come back and say like, what about this time? It's kind of like the negotiation.
Right. Work it out. I even would do that with my boss. So he would come in my office randomly and he would say, okay, new idea. I'm thinking about doing this, and that's the way he was. He'd just come in and just spitballing a bunch of, I got a really great idea. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And I would say, okay, it sounds really good. But we have these things. So where does it fall in priority to those things? Okay. And then we would have a conversation and go back and forth. It keeps your sanity, right? That's the idea, is it keeps your sanity, keeps you from just reacting to panic mode. I've got a million things going on. I don't know what to do. I'm completely overwhelmed. And then the other tip I said was, if it continues to happen this way, that's when you say, hey, listen, it looks like this is being a reoccurring problem where there's just a lot more than I can handle, that I can get done. I want to get it done, and I want to do a really good job. But I think it would be best if we brought somebody else in that can be on my team. So now you're advancing up a ladder, right? If they're dumping a bunch of stuff on you, say, listen, I need to bring so-and-so on. I need to bring another person on my team to be able to accomplish this. Two things happen. You now become a manager. And secondly, you now become available for some type of promotion, which would be a raise. If you're managing somebody plus managing your tasks, that's usually an automatic pay raise in most worlds. I don't know if you have done that and you didn't get a pay raise, you should go and fight for that, because
here's a thought. So if you are feeling stressed out and feeling pulled thin at work, and people are coming to you with like extra tasks, I think it's really important that if you're not the manager, and you're just an employee, I think it's really important that you have a conversation with your boss. Be like, hey, lots of people are coming to me asking me for things directly. So this happened on my team years ago. I ran a team. We had like 4 or 5 people on the team, and my graphic designer kept having people from across the company come to her directly. Like, hey, I need such and such. And then she would come to me and be like, so-and-so needs such and such. Can I work this in on top of what you've already tasked me to do? And I'm like, yeah, sure, fine. And then it like started to get out of hand because, just like with any new position or newer position in a company where people see that you can get things and like get the new shiny for your department. Like, oh, I can get new flyers done, or I can get new marketing materials, or I can get this done.
The word gets out.
The word gets out, and then that person starts to get overworked. And that's what happened with the person on my team. And so I just had to be super. It was a big company. It was seasonal, but when it was on season, I don't know, there was 700-800 people. Off season, there's maybe 300 or 400. So it was a big company. And so like all these people would keep coming up. And I said, listen, if you want something done in our department, you need to fill out this form. And so I just created a quick web form, and it was like who you are, what you need, when you need it done. And people started filling it out. People didn't want to do it. People still wanted to come directly, but I'm listen, this is how I need to delegate work. We're getting pretty busy because we have our own internal stuff that we're trying to do, but we're also here to support you because we're all part of the same company. But you can't just come directly to team members anymore because they're getting stressed out. And so I think it's really important that if this is a situation where you can go to a manager, that you go and you have a conversation. Be like, listen, I don't feel comfortable giving timelines to people. I don't feel comfortable saying yes or no. Or I don't feel comfortable saying no because like it's my job. So I just say yes, and then I come to you, and then I get stressed out. So it's really important that you can take it up the ladder and feel comfortable talking to your boss about it, because it happens quite a lot. And if your boss has to get super strict, then they have to get super strict. Or if they just say just do it, then you just do it, and then maybe you try and do what Zach did and keep working at it, seeing if you can get, hire some help down the road. But I think it's really important that if you can, you try and take it to somebody who can help you out, who's higher up on the ladder.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the key is you are the only person that can allow yourself to get overworked. You're the only person that can allow yourself to get overwhelmed. You can put it on other people. And if you're in a work environment where they don't care if you're overworked, they don't care if you're overstressed, then that's not a place you should be working. They don't value their customers or employees. They don't value their employees enough to not.
What was your friend's 2 questions again?
What do you do when you feel overwhelmed by your to-do list?
Yeah.
And then what do you do when people are trying to, needing your attention? Let me make sure that's right. Yeah, needing your attention. I just want to double check to make sure that's right.
So let me throw this out there. This is something that I've done on my team.
Yeah, needing your attention.
And I've done personally. When I am overwhelmed with tasks, I saw other people in the company doing this and like individually, and I was like, heck, I'm going to do that on my team. And I started instituting do not disturb unless absolutely necessary days.
Yeah,
it was a D in
a good idea.
D. DNDUAN. And it was like ridiculous. It was just like written out on a note on the door, and I kept it on the back of the door. And if they need to go in the office to have a D&D day, they would put the note around the front, and we had it just scheduled out. Like it was like certain people had certain days of the week that they would take that time because they were people. It was an open office floor plan, and people would just stop by and chit chat. And you don't want to be like rude to a coworker and be like, I can't talk right now. But you also need to be able to be like, I can't talk right now because I've got deadlines and I need to get work done. And so I started instituting do not disturb days for my team as necessary. Some of them actually had them like on a schedule, and they would go in to my marketing office. They would shut the door. They would pull stuff up on their computer and just get to work. And I would do the same thing. In fact, I would go in, I would turn the light off. And
I'd fall asleep if you turn the light off, man. That's the thing with me and my wife too, is like if the lights go off, if we like
if the lights go off.
Okay.
You want to finish that sentence? I don't know.
If we're in a movie theater, I won't go to sleep. But if I get in a dark room, I'm going to sleep. Like it doesn't take long. I'm out.
Is your overhead light on right now?
My overhead light is not on right now, but I have that lamp, this lamp. There's a light right over there.
Yeah, so I rarely ever turn my overhead on. And the only reason you see lights now is because I have like the studio lights on. Otherwise, this is me.
Is that the light that I saw? Is that from your window?
Yeah, but the blinds are closed.
Oh yeah, see mine are open. I don't have blinds. I just have curtains. We don't do blinds.
Yeah, no, I just have it there to balance the light, but I usually leave it off. But like in the office that I was talking about before, there was no window. It was an inside office, and like bounded by walls, and it had one little skinny window right beside the door, and so you could see see what they were doing if there was somebody in there. But I would leave the door open with the light off, and I would have like my laptop facing, and I would have the brightness turned down. And so unless like you like were like staring into the room, it's pitch black and you couldn't see.
You didn't know you were even in there.
Yeah, it was perfect. And then I would actually, I would get really good work done. And I had my team members be very strict about it. Like, so-and-so wants me to get on a call. I'm like, do you have time? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, we'll get on a call. I was like, otherwise you tell them, hey, I'm on D&D. Can we do it tomorrow? And the thing about it is, and you said this earlier, people will come to you and be like, I've got this thing. I need these things done right now. And you're like, well, heck, look at these things that I'm juggling right now. Does it really need to be done right now? And they're like, well, no, it could probably be done like on Tuesday. And you're like, okay, great. Tuesday it is. And it's not until you give a little bit of resistance that the actual truth of when the deadline is comes out. Because like there's something that I always used to say when somebody would come to my desk, again, open office floor plan, people just pop in. It's the pop in. It's the open office pop in. Gotta love it. Yep. People just pop by or pop by. Let's call it the pop by.
Pop by.
Not that pop by. The pop by. But
they like, called it.
People would stop by and they would be like, yeah, so I really need this thing. But it'd be like this nebulous idea that they thought, oh, I need to talk to Jay. I'm like, okay, 1, you could email me. 2, you could message me. We have an office messenger. Or 3, like, does it really need to happen like right now? And as soon as you go like, well, I'm in the middle of this. I got to finish this for so-and-so. They're like, oh, well, it's not like a time sensitive thing. I just thought that if you weren't busy. And I'm like, Do you see me? I got a million things going on right now. It's like people just don't understand because they're so stuck in like their own self.
Oh yeah.
They have no perception of like how busy you actually are. They don't really, you're the guy over there doing the thing with the stuff. That's not what they do. They don't know what you're doing.
Well, the thing is too, is no one's going to stand up for you except for you. Everybody's looking out for themselves, right? Whether they say, oh no, I always watch out for my team. No, you still look out for yourself. So
you look out for yourself. You might look out for yourself, but you also look out for your team if you're a good manager.
Oh, I agree.
That comment makes me really sad.
No, well, here's the point I was going to make is with our team, we make it very clear. If you got an issue, if you're being overworked, if you're overstressed about stuff that's going on,
you need to leave.
Suck it up, Buttercup. No.
Wait. The old policy or the new one? What's
well, that's the old Zach and Jason. The new Zach and Jason is no. It's always been this way. Is if you feel overwhelmed, you're overworked, overstressed, you need to come to us and tell us because we want to help you.
Yeah.
You got to be honest and open, or we can't make adjustments.
Otherwise, we don't know, especially because we all work remote. You know.
Right. So if you're stressed and overwhelmed, it's fine if you're going to voice it to your significant other. That's fine. But your significant other can't do anything about it. The only people who can do anything about it are the people on your team. And so if you're feeling that way, the only today, Jason, me and you had a conversation. There was a project that we're working on. You voiced how you were stressed about it, overwhelmed about it. We had a conversation about it. I was able to rally around with you, different way of thinking about it, and I feel like we solved a problem that could have been something that you would have sat with. Well, you have.
Yeah. Did you got my back, boo boo?
I got you back. So, anyways. I second that. The D&D room is a good idea, but I also told him to D&D room, new band, I called it.
Do not disturb, not Dungeons and Dragons. This is not. You
can interpret it out the way you want. You can
if you come to me and I'm your manager and you tell me that you're stressed out and you need time and you want to go into the D&D room and I open that door and you are playing D&D, we're gonna have problems.
Donuts and donuts. What if it's donuts and donuts?
You didn't invite me.
What if it's
I don't know how to play D&D. Why are you talking about donuts?
Because
donuts and donuts.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Anyways, so what I did tell him is that if you have your own office and you have a door, close it.
Yeah.
During your focus time, close it. Turn off your phone. Put it on D&D. Haha, there it is again. Turn off your email. Do whatever you can. I mean, there's apps now that you can set things to be turned off at certain times. We actually Shift will do some of that for you, like the app that we used for.
Yeah, I'm muted. I'm muted for I
too.
The next 18 minutes.
Well, we're gonna take all of that 18 minutes. Buckle up, guys, because we're going long. No. I told him, I said, shut all those things off during your most focused time. Check your email maybe twice a day, maybe 3 times a day, maybe first thing in the morning. Actually, don't check it first thing in the morning because that's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
It overwhelms you. Get through some tasks, then check your email. Maybe right before lunch. Maybe check it after lunch. Maybe check it at the end of the day. And don't be reactionary. That's the other thing I told him. Don't be reactionary. If you have your email up, you have these other things come up, your phone up. If the phone rings and you're in the middle of something, let it ring. Go to voicemail. Let it go to voicemail. Because if it's that important, what will they do? They will sit there and they'll leave you a voicemail, and then you can pick it up and you can. Okay, I can now have time to focus on this, so I'm going to listen to what it says. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going to call them back at such and such time, right? But if your reactionary is every email comes in, let me respond to that. Okay, where was I again? Oh, yeah. Okay. Another email comes in. Oh, okay. Okay. Let me respond to this. Let me see where I was at. Somebody walks in your office. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Hey, yeah. Susie has selling cookies. No, I don't want any. Thank you very much, though. Have a good day. where was that? You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah,
those tiny little interruptions that happen throughout the day
I get it, man.
that just zap. You get to the end of the day and you go,
You know
I
what you
didn't
need?
get a thing done.
What are those blinders they put on horses?
Yeah,
I need those.
I
I personally need them. Like I could
Well, you
spend
don't-
I gotta spend all day because you know me. I'll be
Yes.
working on something because you know to like you gotta hold it sometimes, right? Because if you send me something, like, hey, we need to take a look at such and such, what am I gonna do? Immediately.
you're gonna start working on it.
I'm gonna start working on it. I can't help it. I have ADD. It's really, really bad. And if you put something in front of me, I'm like, okay, what is that?
Well, but what I have told you is, there has been times where it's like I'm telling you this so I don't forget.
Yeah,
I don't want you to do not stop working on what you're working on to work on this.
I know,
don't-
but it's if it's
But,
there, the message is there. It's like it's fine. It's
No, but
all
you
it's
got-
good for you. It's good for you to say that. But like, I know
No,
I can't.
you've gotten better. You've gotten better about that. You've gotten better about that because there's been times where I have told you not to work on something and you don't, and you keep working on what you're working on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's usually because it's time sensitive, but that's a thing. That's a very real thing. Like you can't. It's really hard for me to see a task, and not go, oh, okay, that's got to get done, and not try and pivot to it.
Well, and our team knows not to do that too because I've instructed our different team members to be like, don't send Jason this. If you don't, just wait.
yeah,
Filter
just
it through.
leave Jason alone for the next 35, 45 minutes. Let him finish what he's working on. Otherwise,
Filter it through me. If it's something that I can deal with, let's do that first.
Yeah.
What is it you got to go to him with?
You know, I don't know if this would work for people, but if you're in a position where you could change your schedule, like you could change your
Yes.
hours,
Yep.
I've done that before in a big way. So I used to work 9 to 5. I used to work 9 to 5 at a resort, and it was fine. Didn't have kids. It was like an hour commute, but it was fine. And problem is, my team was growing. Like every month, I feel like we were adding somebody new towards the end of me working there, and to the point where I had like, I don't know, 4 full-time staff members and like 10 seasonal employees,
Show off.
like interns. I didn't
Show
ask
off.
for those people. I did not want to manage that many people. You know me, I don't even want to manage one person. And like
Much less yourself, right?
yeah.
Oh man.
Jokes. So it got to the point where I was just I couldn't get anything done. If I wasn't working on schedules, I was trying to fix a Facebook campaign, or I was working on updating the website, or I was going into and out of like 57 meetings a day. It was just a lot. Like I was constantly doing something and had no time to actually think about things. I had no time to work on like overall plans because I ran the department, and it was just there's no time to do anything. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I just change my schedule? And I shifted my schedule. So I started going in at 6:30 in the morning, 6 to 6:30, and I would get off at, I don't know, what is that, like 2 or 2:30? Yeah. And it was amazing. Like I was getting in there before the cleaning crew got there, because the cleaning crew came in the morning before the office opened. So I would get in there, and the first couple times the cleaning crew got startled because I was in my office and the light was on. The lady just came walking in, listening to like music on her headphones, and she's like, "Oh, okay, sorry." But between that like 6:30 time and then 9 o'clock when everybody else came into the office, I was literally getting like almost an entire day's worth of work done. There was no distractions in the office. There was there were no pop-ins, no the pop-bys. There's nobody popping in. There were no emails coming in. There were no phones ringing. It was nothing. It was a wasteland, and it was wonderful. I got so much work done before the office opened, that I could actually spend the rest of my day working with my team, going to meetings as necessary. Now, some days I did have to stay late because if it was a meeting that was scheduled later, but so it made it a long day. But gosh, I actually could physically work. I actually could be a productive employee without the distractions. And it was amazing. And if you could do that, by all means, go for it.
Yeah, that's something too. My wife always makes fun of me when I talk about meetings because she says she remembers early in my career. I was working actually the college we graduated from. I was working there, and we had a lot of meetings, and I loved it because as an extrovert, I like interacting with people. That's fun to me. I enjoy that. I'm energized by that. And I remember telling her, it's like, if I could just sit in meetings all day, I would be so happy. And
they can get anything done.
Well, that's the thing. That's where I'm leading to is now, like, I look forward to the days I don't have meetings.
Yeah.
And I keep it sacred. Like, tomorrow. Yeah. Like tomorrow we had several meetings that were supposed to happen tomorrow. All of them got canceled. So I'm like, I have an entire Friday where I don't have anything. Now that I say that, it's going to get off.
So much time for work activities. We can have internal meetings. We can actually get work done. We can send out some bills. So many activities.
Did we just become best friends?
I think we just did.
You're supposed to say yep. You're supposed to say yep.
I'm supposed to dink?
No, you're supposed to say yep. Did we just become best friends? Oh, come on. Chris,
probably.
Yep. You want to do karate in the basement?
Maybe.
Where's Chris?
I don't have a basement.
You do karate in the garage. That's it. You do karate in the garage? Chris is quiet on me. All right.
I refuse to play into your stepbrother's ploy.
Randy. That's right. So anyways, yeah, I agree. I think that's a good one. Moving your schedule around is a really good one. It's really easy. That's something that I do here even now. Before the kids get up, before anybody else gets up, I'm up getting some things done. Same
Crying
thing
in the basement.
Doing straight up judo in. You didn't know it. You didn't know I knew judo, did you?
You don't know who you're messing with.
You don't know if I got a gun. You don't know if I got. Anyways, we are going way off. But anyways, I thought that was a really good question or two questions that I think a lot of people deal with. And I think that some of the things that we mentioned aren't like groundbreaking, but it's a good reminder because oftentimes we get into this situation where we're just completely overwhelmed and we go, I have zero hope. I'm drowning. I don't know what to do. So hopefully hearing some of us, me and Jason talk about it today has helped you kind of go, I am completely overwhelmed. I've got way too much on my schedule. I got way too much on my plate. I got way too many things going on. So what can I do?
I think the biggest thing that you said, because nothing what I said was of any importance or value, but
don't talk about yourself that way.
You know what? I'm gonna stick up for myself. Boom. That's what we were talking about. So the biggest thing that you said today was sticking up for yourself. Because nobody's going to stick up for you naturally. Like everybody's going to look out for themselves first. So it's really important that if you're feeling like how your friend, let's just call him, can we call him Xavier? Let's call him Xavier. Your friend Xavier. So if you're feeling stressed and you don't know how to deal with office situations, or you don't know how to say no to people, because no is a complete sentence. If you don't know how to, Xavier McDaniel, I love it. I don't know if that's a real person or not, but
probably is.
Somewhere in the world there's an Xavier McDaniel. But if you're feeling stressed or feeling the way that Zach's friend was, just remember to look out for yourself. Have the conversation with your boss, if you can. If you do have a direct report that you can talk to, have that conversation with them, or be protective of your schedule. Do what it takes to be protective of your schedule and your time, and look out for yourself. I think that's the biggest takeaway for today.
Yeah. And on that note, I want you guys to think about something. Kohlrabi, right? Kohlrabi is a vegetable, but it's also somebody's name. There's a guy out there named Kohlrabi. Just going to leave you with that.
What is Kohlrabi?
Are you going to look it up now?
Yeah.
Kohlrabi. There's a guy out there named Kohlrabi. if you know a kohlrabi, I want to meet him. So hit me
It
up if
looks
you know a
like, kind of
kohlrabi.
looks like a beet. It's a root
Right.
vegetable.
All right, kohlrabi. On that
Okay.
note,
Bon appetit.
tune in next week, Thursday at 2. We will be here doing this and hopefully giving you something you can walk away with.
Doing a little bit of this.
Doing
Doing
a little bit of that,
doing a little bit of this.
and then a little bit of clankety clank.
Let's
signing out.
What
What are you doing?
I was getting mine. All right, 3, 2, 1. Bink.
Bam. On
See you
that
guys.
guy.
Podcast is brought to you by WINJECT Studios. We are an all-in-one educational platform for podcasters that revolutionizes how hosts leverage content to increase engagement with listeners, downloads, and income. We come together to focus on community, collaboration, and collective impact. For more information on how you can interact directly with our hosts, access exclusive live content with offers you can't get anywhere else from our official partners, join our purpose-driven community by visiting www.winject.com. If you're ready to build a career doing what you love, then we're ready to see you there.